This is the 28th of March, in the midst of the coronavirus crisis that we have. Everything's on lockdown, everybody's losing their jobs, shutting their businesses down. And I just wanted to speak about Prince Harry and Meghan's job reference, which comes from the British taxpayer. And I'd just like to say that here we have a man, Prince Harry, that has 2.5 million income coming in from his father's royal duchy estate. Prince William also gets the same, although he works full-time doing charity and other work, as did Harry at one time. But now Harry says that he wants to be financially independent. That's a laugh anyway, because when he has that sort of money coming in for doing nothing, for he's not now doing anything for the royal family or Britain, but he still wants the taxpayer to pay not just the 600,000 per year security costs that we paid while he was living in England or Britain. We may well be paying 6 to 20 million instead. He still wants to keep the royal titles and Commonwealth positions, which helps him to make money for himself, to keep his celebrity lifestyle, while supposedly doing charity work or some foundation that he's going to set up with Meghan, which really is left-wing political activism. He's no longer going to be living in the UK and will be jetting all over the place when the virus lockdown is over anyway, at our expense. This at a time when food bank donations have dried up due to the crisis, knife crime is rife, and £20 million that we might be paying for his security to keep his family of three safe would buy quite a lot of food parcels, or maybe 20 extra policemen on the streets to protect the public who are actually being killed on the streets, instead of protecting these three rich individuals in exclusive areas where they are pretty safe. And there could easily be some link between the government and his own security team if there is any specific threat. Other celebrities have to pay their own security, which is around 2 million a year. So that would obviously take a large chunk out of Harry's 2.5 million income from the Duchy of Cornwall. So we conclude that he, and maybe the royal family are party to it, secretly want to keep token involvement with the royal family to justify that we, the taxpayer, still pay his security for the whole year. He has taken several holidays in the summer in 2019, a 6-week holiday over Christmas, and just a few royal working events in between. After the 31st of March 2020, he will be supposedly retired and won't be doing anything for Britain except what he benefits from for his influence and fame, and to get some good photo shoots for his website. But we the taxpayer will still be paying for his security while he's making money for himself and enjoying this celebrity lifestyle that we are helping him to promote with his royal links, and also paying the privilege for that with this extra security cost of maybe 20 million. He seems to do everything secretly now. He's now in the USA, it seems, with our UK 12-man security team, I understand, that we are still paying for, while we're going through this crisis and everybody's losing money. They have about 35 million between them, Harry and Meghan. This is hypocritical, opportunist and dishonourable. If he renounced all the royal titles, Commonwealth positions and security protection, then none of us would have a problem. He's free, and Meghan is free, to go with our blessing, but to go this way is despicable. He also blames the media for the death of his mother, to justify his anger against life, and Britain maybe. But it is the case that Dodi, who was Diana's boyfriend who also died, rejected his own security team advice not to go out that night they were killed. His driver had been drinking that night, so that his driving was impaired, and neither Dodi, Princess Diana, or the driver were wearing their seatbelts. The only one that was wearing a seatbelt was the bodyguard, and he survived. So their deaths were more a case of reckless irresponsibility than the media. As regards Meghan, she chose to live with her father when, remember this is a character reference, a job reference that I'm giving to you and the world, for both Harry and Meghan. Meghan chose to live with her father when she was about 9, it seems, after he won the lottery, and he then paid for her private education. He also introduced her to Hollywood-style environment as he was a film lighting engineer or director, and he took her to work with him at times, and she met all the celebrities. She married a not well-known film director and then divorced him 2 years later when she was started working for the Suits TV series in Canada. She has fallen out with her father and other family members, despite the fact that she owes her start in life and what she has achieved so far down to her father. Despite the fact that she has $5 million, she now begrudges her father $20,000 she has lent or given him. Most people want to help their family in such a turnaround situation. Her private education alone would have cost more than $20,000. Now Harry is split from his brother, William, and the royal family, and are in dispute, we understand, leaving in their trail a second high renovation cost at Frogmore Cottage, the first one being at Kensington Palace, which they left due to the falling out with the family. They wanted to move somewhere else, of which the Frogmore Cottage renovation is about 2.4 million of taxpayers' money, which they say they will pay back, but have not so far, and we haven't heard anything about it, either from the royal family or the government. And now Harry and Meghan demand as a right that the beleaguered taxpayer pays this increased security cost of maybe 20 million, while they become independent financially on the back of royal titles they have rejected as a job. But they want the benefits still. Usually if you resign a job, that is the end of all titles and benefits of that firm. So the Queen's decision to main these links seems a means of endorsing or agreeing to this hypocrisy and opportunism in favour of a spoilt family member. We also cannot think why the Queen should publicly announce how proud she was of Meghan fitting in with the family, when the royal family is now divided. It is a little like the deal agreed with Harry that says he has resigned, yet is still 50% in the UK and 50% in the USA, supposedly, working, which is unlikely to be any such thing. But it just binds Britain to paying Harry's security and to what he does, which is left-wing political activism while carrying royal status, which by tradition royalty is meant to be apolitical, non-political. This can be rectified honourably, either by all the royal titles and Commonwealth positions and security cover being renounced by Harry himself by the 31st of March or soon thereafter, or the royal family, the monarchy, rescind or revoke all these titles and Commonwealth positions and security by the same date or shortly thereafter. We want no public 1-year trial on this deal. By that time we will see the end of the monarchy, and maybe that, I think, is what Harry and Meghan want. In addition, we have all the numerous plane trips by Harry and Meghan during 2019, even one just to go and watch a tennis match, while promoting climate change awareness that the public must start cutting back. So the character reference is to any new employer, particularly to a charity and the poor, or those making a deal with either Meghan or Harry. Unless you also are a cynical opportunist, looking to make money only, do not trust what they say or do. They only watch their back, not yours, and will exploit you. I do not see them giving much of their own money to charity, while gaining influence and accolades only for themselves, on various advertising ventures that keep them in their mansions, courtesy of the poor and charity involvement, the royal family, and the British taxpayer. This seems to be their plan for their future. I certainly don't want them representing me, nor do I want them to return. They want to be independent, they want to be free, that's fine. Britain also wants to be free.